Okay, you guys. So what I want to actually do first is our two warm-ups for the day. So grab your packet, pause on the notebook. And we're gonna do, actually we're gonna do three. We're gonna do 18, 20, and 22. 18, 20, and 22 in the warm-ups. Mouse control. Okay. So reminder, cube root. Since there's a little 3 there, we want to say what times itself is 27. What times itself is 27. 3, beautiful. 3, 3, 3. Cube root of 27 is 3. Because I want to make sure everyone sees that, like number 16, it doesn't have the little number, so there's a 2 there. So we put 2 branches off. And the cube root has a little 3 there, so I put 3 branches off. Just want to make sure. Okay, now flip over to number 20. This is my favorite one. Acute, obtuse, right, or straight? Right. Obtuse means greater than 90. And I don't know if your 8th grade teacher taught you that you can't really assume if it's a right angle if it doesn't have the little box in there. But this is sort of before that, so we're going to put the little box in there. Okay, last one, number 22. If you need your foldable, you might want your foldable. Check what the vocabulary word is for number 22. Does anybody know what it is? Yes, Jason? Supplementary. Okay. And I feel like I want to find it. Hold on a second. Okay, so supplementary, the box is right here. And it looks like this, where you can make a kind of like a half circle out of the 2 angles. Okay, and then it says angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. So I'm going to say B equals 180 minus 39, which is what, 141? Okay, any questions on the 3 warm-ups? All right, so when you're ready, go back to the notebook. Okay, problem is a review problem from yesterday. So this is the one where I used my straight edge and found the coordinates. And so this one says, estimate y when x is -4. That means I have -4 comma something. So estimate y, which is this coordinate, when x is -4, which is this coordinate. So I'm going to go to -4 on the x, which is right here. And then go down to the graph right there. And it says estimate, so don't worry about it being a decimal. What do you think? -3.7? Okay, B, estimate y when x is -1. Okay, so that means we have -1 comma something. So -1 comma something would be right here. -3.3 or 2? 2? Okay. C, y when x is 4. So I have 4 comma something. Oh man, how many of them are there? 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I have 4, 0, 4, 3.3, and 4, -2.4. What do you think? Okay, so y is about 0, 3.3, and -2.4. Is this relationship a function? No. Okay, and what you can do is you can take that example at 4, draw your vertical line there because it hits 3 times, and say no fails vertical. I was going to write that twice because I'm special apparently. Line test. Okay, is anyone still writing number 52? Please raise your hand clearly if you're still writing number 52. Okay, I'm going to move it down to 53 and let you guys set that all up. Okay, you guys, let's work on A. So I'm going to do f of -3 and put it way over here because we're going to have to do 3 of them in this space. And what we do is we plug -3 in everywhere there's an x. So f of -3 is 6 over -3 minus 3. So this x became a -3 and this x became a -3. And now I just simplify. So 6 over -6 is -1. Okay, f of 0. 6 over 0 minus 3 is 6 over -3, which is -2. Now I'm going to put 2 in for x. And I got -6. Any questions about A? Everybody okay with my plugging in of x? Do you see what I did? Okay, now we're going to do 3 and something bad's going to happen. It's separated out here for a reason. So f of 3 is 6 over 3 minus 3. Uh-oh. What's going to happen? Yep, 6 over 0. And you write not possible. With an L in it, not 2 E's. Not possible. You can't divide by 0. Okay, now think for a second. Are there any other inputs that cannot be evaluated by this function? So is there anything else that's going to cause a problem besides 3? Okay, and then what you would think to yourself is there any like square roots in it? So basically, it's 0 in the denominator or like a negative square root are basically the only things we're working on. Do you see any square roots in this particular function? No. So everything else should work. Okay, and now we're going to start this vocab word for today. It's called domain. A domain is all of the x's that work. So describe the domain of f of x. It just means everything except 3. Everything works in this problem except 3. Okay, and we don't write it out in words when we do the domain. When we say everything except 3, we write it like this: all real numbers. This is a capital R with 2 stems. And the reason it has 2 stems is because back in the olden days when we had a chalkboard, you couldn't bold it. So they made 2 stems. You say all real numbers except x cannot be 3. So this is how you write that into math notation. Have you written the all real numbers before ever? Is this your first time? Okay, now find your packet. The next 2 problems are on resource pages. And I'm going to use a highlighter for these problems. So if you are a person who uses a highlighter on your notes or a color or something, you can. You don't have to. It's completely up to you. I like to because it's fun. So okay, number 54. we're going to look at this picture and we are going to describe the domain, which we put with a capital D. And the next word you need to learn is range with a capital R, but it's not the one with two stems. It's literally, here, let's write it out. Okay. We've got you a picture here on purpose where the domain and range are kind of easy. This is like kind of a, I don't know, like a level 1 problem. Very easy to find the domain and range. The domain is all of the possible x's. So on the x-axis, what I want to do is mark the possible x's for this curve. So do you guys see that it starts right here? Draw on the x-axis, put a circle right there. And your graph goes all the way through here, here to here, keeps going, and ends right there. If you did it correctly, it should look like Baymax. Do you know who Baymax is? Okay. This is how you write it. It's a little bit weird, so it's going to take you some time. You start with the leftmost point and put -2. Then leave a gap and put the rightmost point is 4. Then you put an X in the middle. And then you put less than or equal to and less than or equal to. So in words, this is saying X is in between -2 and 4. I know this is kind of hard. Okay, the range is the Y's. So for the range, what you want to do is locate the very bottom of your graph, which is down here, and make a dot. And when we draw for the domain and range, we're always going to do it straight on the axes. And then the curve goes here, 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 here. And the very top is there. Okay. And what you do is you write the numbers from least to greatest again. So -1 to 3. Put a Y in the middle. Less than or equal to, less than or equal to. So this statement is saying Y is in between -1 and 3. It could be anything in between -1 and 3. Okay, flip to the back side. Okay, I'm going to use that highlighter again. I'll finish teaching and then I'll send it. Okay. So very leftmost point of the circle to the right. This is -3, correct? Okay, so the domain goes from -3 to +3. X in the middle because you're talking about the x-axis. Less than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, range. Here's the bottom of the circle, top of the circle. It's also -3 to 3, right? But what's different about the range? Yes, y in the middle. Great job. Okay, we're going to skip B for the moment. B is too spicy for where we're at right now. We're going to go to C. Okay, so here's the left. Here's the right. What numbers are these between? Beautiful. -2 and 4. X less than or equal to less than or equal to. This one's backwards, huh? -4 to 2. Y less than or equal to less than or equal to. Okay, we're going to skip D again and go down to E. Okay, so the very left of this one is right here. And the very right of this one is right here, in between these little spots there. So the domain goes from 2 to 4. Also, just a quick aside, E, is it a function? No, definitely not. Okay, what numbers are the range? -3 to 2. Okay, so you've done all the easy ones. Those are the level 1. If you're playing a video game, you just save the princess on the first level. That's it. Okay, so now we're coming back in a more advanced level and we're going to talk about B. So scoot your paper up to B next. B is the next difficulty level. I don't know why they put them in this order, by the way. Okay, do you see these arrows on the end? They indicate that it goes on forever. So for this one, it goes forever to the left and make an arrow like this. And it covers everything in the middle and it goes forever to the right. Do you guys see that the whole x-axis is covered? Okay, when the whole x-axis is covered, we say all real numbers, which means everything. Okay, now for the range, is the whole y-axis going to be covered? Yeah, because you have the arrows going up over here, and the arrow going down over here. So you got the whole thing covered. Okay. Now go to D. That's the next difficulty level. D and F are spicy. So we got to be careful with D and F. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you some questions. According to the arrow, is this graph going to go forever to the left? According to this arrow, is the graph going to go forever left? Yeah, okay. If you're thinking it's going to start going straight down, it's not. I promise you, it's going to go like that. Forever left. Okay, is it going to go forever right? Yes. So what would the domain be? All real numbers. Okay. Now, this is the spicy part here. Is my graph going to go forever down? Yes. Okay, it's going to go forever down, but what is the tippy top of it for? So this is a ray. It's not arrows on both sides, it's a ray. And when we write a domain and range for a ray or any kind of algebra for a ray, you start with the letter and the top is 4. And I need to put that it is less than or equal to 4 because it's going down. Okay, if you forget which way the inequality is, look up at the crocodiles next to the screen up there. There's a less than, equal to, and greater than crocodile up there if you ever get stuck. Okay, last one of these, F. Okay, domain. Is it going to go forever to the right? Yes. Forever left? No, it stops at the axis right here. So this is a ray. So x is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, now, is it going to go forever up? Sorry. Forever up, guys? Yeah, slowly, but yes. Is it going to go forever down? Where does it stop? 3, actually. And because this is going up, y is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, you guys, now I need you to go back to the notebook. Actually, pause here real quick. Can you find last night's homework, the quiz review? Real quick, real quick. Check these. Can you check to make sure you got 8, 16? Just while we're in the packet. 8, 16. No, no. It goes no, no, no. Yes, no, yes. Square both sides to get rid of the square root. Or you could just think of the square root of what is 4. Okay. Can I flip? Can you guys look at the back? Oh, yeah. Okay. I got -3, 3, 5, and 0. -3, 3, 5, and 0. Anybody want to ask anything about this before we move back to the notebook? So you guys know you have a quiz on Thursday. We're actually going to do it at the beginning of the period. There's going to be one equation like this. Actually, no, there's 2. There's like an easier one and like with x on one side and x on both sides. Then there's a picture you have to say if it's a function or not. Say y, vertical line test, not vertical line test, basically. And then what's the other one? Oh, function machine. Any questions about this page before we go back to the notebook? Do you want me to talk about the 16? I just reasoned it out in my mind. I just said the square root of what is 4. I mean, or you could square both sides to get rid of the square root. Oh, because you did the opposite. You square rooted. Yeah. Because the square root of 2 is like 1.4. So just like, okay, what number would go there? And I would square root it and it would give me 4, is basically. Okay, last thing. So this goes in your notebook. I'm going to bring you this thing to paste in so that you don't need to draw anything else. I'm going to come around with this in a second. So every person gets like a half page. Laying flat. Don't worry, guys. There's not a lot to write on here. I just didn't want you to have to draw any of this. Trying to save you time. No, this is kind of dumb, but the way I remember which is which one is domain and which one is range, is domain and range are in alphabetical order, and X and Y are in alphabetical order. So domain goes with the X because they're both first in the alphabet, and range goes with Y because they're both second in the alphabet. I know it's kind of dumb. Also, when you're talking about this, you'll never say range and domain. It's always domain and range. So domain will come first. That's the X. Okay, this first one, A, is one of the spicy ones. I want you guys to see that there are arrows at the end of these lines, even though they don't show up a lot. So I darken them. So that means that my graph starts here and it's going to go forever to the right. So X is going to be greater than or equal to -3. But my arrows also show me that the graph's going to go forever up and down. So I did that wrong. The range is all real numbers. I made the wrong kind of R. Okay, last question. Is this one a function? No. Okay, now B. Do you guys see that these are just points? So these are easier. You don't need to actually draw on the picture when it's just points. You just list the x's. So x equals, okay, so I'm go over here to the very left one. Just gonna darken these points in so you can see them better. -6. This is not enough space, Mrs. Talbot. -6, -4, and -3. And notice there's two of them at -3, but don't write -3 twice. And 5. And then the range is -5, -3, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and is this a function? No, right there. Look, do you see those two? Okay, we're gonna pause here. We'll do the last two on Thursday because I need you to pack up and things. But do you guys know what the homework is? 59 to 63 in the CPM book. 59 to 63 in the CPM book. Yeah, honey. Oh, yeah. I'll do these last two at the start of Thursday. Don't worry. Yep. 59 to 63 is the homework. We almost finished it all. We did. Do you want me to do it first? And we did 18, 20, and 22.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna post the video so you can look at them, but
Yeah.
they're very easy.
Yeah. Do you post it like that after class or like
What?
when do you post it?
Yeah, so it uploads to YouTube and then I post it during fourth because that's my prep period usually.
Okay.
Yes, and yes, finish that.
Yeah. Do you find in Google Classroom?
Yes. There's a post that says like chapter 1 videos, and then they should all be listed in there.